It is absolutely crazy what is happening in crypto right now. Ethereum is aiming for a new all-time high, and Ethereum is also making some very interesting moves that you should definitely not miss. So this is why we are looking exactly on these moves in today's video. So let's not lose time and start right into it so that you can take the right precautions for the upcoming altcoin season. First, we have to look at where we are standing now, and Bitcoin is on the move for a new all-time high. This is also what mainstream media is already telling us. CNBC, one of the largest media outlets, is telling us Bitcoin is primed for a surge to fresh all-time highs above 130k. And this is definitely possible, and I will tell you exactly where we'll see the 130k very soon. First, there is more broader attention to the topic Bitcoin. Since we have Michael Saylor in Jordan Peterson's podcast, and Jordan Peterson is one of the most influential podcasters of all time. If you have not seen this interview, you should definitely check it out. It's very worth watching. But if I can show you only one thing from the interview, that's this passage. Jordan Peterson asked Michael Saylor, if it's ramping up exponentially, why won't Bitcoin just suck the investment capital out of everything? And Michael Saylor told him, it is and it will. That's why I am here. And this is definitely what is gonna happen. When we look at where is Bitcoin standing at the moment, it's so small compared to other global asset classes. For example, money, 129 trillion, bonds, 318, real estate, 370, equities, 135, art, cars and collectibles, 27, gold, 22, and then we have Bitcoin with only $2 trillion. So next stop is definitely gold here. We are aiming for the size of gold with Bitcoin, and this is definitely possible because Bitcoin is scarce. There only will ever be 21 million Bitcoins. Don't forget that. Why will we aim for gold? For sure, because there is so much interest in Bitcoin at the moment. BlackRock's Bitcoin Spot ETF is the fastest growing ETF in history. It's 5 times faster than the previous record holder gold. So this is only the start. What we'll see here, we see there is some huge institutional interest. We see some huge Wall Street interest. When we look, for example, at BlackRock, they bought 3,056 Bitcoin. That's 7 days worth of the global supply. So this is economics 101. When there is limited supply and a lot of ask, what will happen to the price? It will explode. So this is what Michael Saylor is telling us, and this is what I am telling you. We don't see another bear market soon. It's not coming back. Bitcoin is not going to zero. It's going to $1 million. And this is what I also think. I think we could definitely break the 4 years Bitcoin cycle in this cycle. Why? Why would anyone sell their Bitcoins? Now we don't have the small retail investor. We have a new class of investors. We have the Wall Street. We have companies like Michael Saylor, like Strategy, like 21 Capital, like Metaplanet, and a lot of other institutional companies that buy Bitcoin for their treasury, to hold that asset for the next 10 years, to not have an exposure to inflation or anything else. This is why I don't see anybody selling Bitcoin soon, and this is why I don't see a bear market coming soon. I always read your comments and I see some people writing like, I have to buy Bitcoin when it's lower, I will buy in the bear market. But who says that we will go to a bear market soon? I don't see it coming any soon. But let me know down in the comments, what do you think? I am definitely convinced that we will break the 4 years crypto cycle, because this cycle is completely different. When we compare it to other cycles, we always grew very fast and had a setbacks. But this time it's different. We're growing slow and steady, but we keep that levels. For example, the 100k mark. We are now above 100k for the last 30 consecutive days, and we will stay there. why should we go down? I can't imagine a reason why we should go lower. I think even if the United States would go into a recession, it would even be bullish for crypto and Bitcoin, because this is why crypto was built. This is why Bitcoin was built, to have a hedge against traditional markets going down. And this is also what the institutional demand is telling us. The institutional demand in May was $7 billion. The institutions are hedging against unstable markets with crypto. And ETF approvals are speeding up. So more big firms are finally letting advisors access Bitcoin. So what does that mean for us? Volatility is going down and interest is going up. Brian Armstrong, the Coinbase CEO, says it is clear at this point that Bitcoin is a better form of money than gold. And this is also what I think. And don't forget, Bitcoin is following the global money supply. What is happening with the global money supply? It is exploding. As you can see, for example, in this chart, this is exactly telling you where we are going. Bitcoin has nearly a 90% correlation to the M2 global liquidity. And what is happening to the global M2 liquidity? It is aiming for another leg up. So Bitcoin will also move up, same like the global liquidity. And if this would not already be enough reasons why crypto and why Bitcoin will explode, we also have the United States, we have the interest of nations to buy into crypto. Also, nations want to build their strategic reserves. For example, like the United States. The US wants to accumulate as much Bitcoin as fast as possible. This is what Bo Hines from the White House is telling to us. And what will happen if the institutions, if the Wall Street, if the nations keep buying and if they keep stacking their Bitcoin? It could only end in a big supply squeeze, because the supply of Bitcoin is limited. When we look at the OTC desks where the institutions make their private deals, there is only 123,000 Bitcoin left on the OTC desks. And what will happen if all of these are sold? Exactly. The price will explode, because then the institutions have to buy Bitcoin like you and me. They have to go to the crypto exchanges and ask them if they can buy some Bitcoin there, and then the price will definitely skyrocket. As AI is already telling us, the supply shock is confirmed. We have Bitcoin outflows of nearly 4K versus 450 Bitcoin mined. So there's nearly 10 times the demand for Bitcoin that is produced at the moment. So this is economics 101, what will happen to the price. Also, we have the United States to cut a deal with China. We have the Fed to cut rates soon. So soon stocks will make new all-time highs and crypto continues to outperform. But what we are already seeing is a rotation into Ethereum. So what does that mean? Ethereum will go harder and faster than most here could imagine. We are already seeing it outperforming Bitcoin. In the Q2, money is flowing into Bitcoin. And this is the typical money flow in a crypto cycle. We're seeing a lot of headlines about Ethereum. Yeah, we have a new all-time high in staked Ethereum. We see some nice daily moves. We see some nice monthly moves. We see some very good inflows into Ethereum. It's leading in inflows. And as I already told you, we have a new all-time high in staked Ethereum. So what does that mean? There is already 30% of the total Ethereum supply staked. So it does also mean that there is limited supply in circulation. And what a lot of people don't see is that Ethereum is a global reserve asset. And what a lot of people don't see is that Ethereum has a big discount in comparison to oil, gold, or Bitcoin. Ethereum is a programmable store of value for the internet, and it is no surprise to me that Ethereum is already 10% up in the last 24 hours. People are starting to wake up on Ethereum. So my Ethereum bags are definitely packed. Let me know if you're already holding Ethereum. I'm holding Ethereum since 2016 and now it's time we will be rewarded again. All of the on-chain metrics are telling us one thing. We see some massive increase in ETH validators. We see some multi-week positive inflows in Ethereum liquid staking tokens, and since more than 17 days now we have positive spot ETF inflows in Ethereum. So this is why some people are already saying that Ethereum will become a larger corporate treasure asset than Bitcoin, because there is one thing happening very soon. We will get the approval for the Ethereum spot staking ETFs. So that does mean that the institutions will earn some additional yield for staking their ETF shares, and this will be a huge game changer for the institutions. Also, we got some political support because now they're starting to question why, for example, Gary Gensler treated Ethereum how he treated Ethereum in the last years. But this is not the biggest game changer that is happening for Ethereum now. Because as I already told you, a lot of people underestimate what is happening at Ethereum now. We will definitely make a new all-time high. This is for sure, because Ethereum already has the most institutional adoption among all altcoins. Ethereum is already the leader in real-world assets, in DeFi, and also among stablecoins. And what we will get soon is the staking ETFs, and what we will see also very soon after the Pectra upgrade is that Ethereum is becoming deflationary again. And now the biggest game changer was the SEC's latest roundtable about DeFi. Because Paul Atkins, the SEC chair himself, told that he will support DeFi big time. And this changes everything for Ethereum, the biggest DeFi coin, and for a lot of other DeFi projects, because now it was very difficult for DeFi projects to grow in the United States, but this will change very soon, because he stated clearly that he will support DeFi and innovation. And he also stated very clearly that every American citizen has the right to self-custody their crypto coins. So what does that mean? Not only will he support DeFi, you can also use your coins on your private wallets for DeFi. You don't need no exchanges anymore. So DeFi will be one of the biggest sectors in this cycle. This is for sure. Paul Atkins, the SEC chair himself, made sure that DeFi will grow big time. For years, DeFi was beaten down, threatened, prosecuted, and hunted. But now DeFi is set to explode. We can already see some DeFi projects exploding. For example, this is 3 of my favorite DeFi projects: Aave, Pendle, and Hype. This will be 3 of the biggest winners in this cycle. Besides Ethereum, Hype definitely is the Solana of this cycle. As you already know, I have a growing position in Hype. At the moment, my Hype position has grown to $1.3 million, and I keep hodling because this is the project of the cycle, and we are nowhere near the top where Hype is heading. Hype is heading for the top 5 cryptos. Hype is heading for Solana. Hype is heading for BNB. This is where Hype should be. And as you see it or not, we are very early with Hyperliquid. We only have 5% of the global perpetual swap market shares. Hyperliquid already has 10.5% of Binance trading volume, which is completely crazy for such a new platform. And this is why we are extremely early with Hyperliquid. It will be sooner or later that Hyperliquid will have a 50% market share, which would bring them a money flow of $10 billion a year. And as you know, what they do with their money, they are buying back their Hype tokens and burn the tokens. So I love the tokenomics of Hyperliquid itself, and you should definitely have an eye on Hyperliquid. Everything below $100 will be cheap, and a lot of people always ask me, Manu, is this a good time to buy now? And I always tell you, DCA in the setbacks, DCA in the corrections. This is how I am approaching. If I want to buy a coin, I am DCAing into the coins when there is blood in the streets, when there is discounts. This is when I am buying coins, and not all at once, so that I can get a really good average price entry very, very low. And if you are not sure which coins to buy, I definitely can recommend you to watch my latest videos. There I will tell you all about my highest potential coins in my portfolio, how my investing pyramid is built so that you can win at all market phases. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. If you like the video, please smash the like button and follow button, share the video with your friends. Thank you for watching. See you soon.